The NHL is having its annual GM meetings in Florida right now, and you can see everything discussed from LTIR to player safety to even regrouping in 3-on-3 overtime. It's always an interesting pocket in the NHL calendar. I always love seeing the insiders huddled up around the hotel giving us the lowdown. But we see a lot of this stuff talked about every year. Video review, challenges, the suspensions, physicality, the salary cap, the usual suspects. There was one thing that really caught my eye though that I'm actually pretty excited for. Chris Johnston prefaced this as an interesting nugget coming out of today's NHL GM meetings. The league has signed on to do a behind-the-scenes series with Amazon that will center around 10 to 12 star players. He also mentioned that it's scheduled for a fall release, and immediately this caught my eye. 10 to 12 is a lot. The amount of variety there gives so much potential for the show. I mean, you could go from a hockey-crazed market like Montreal or Edmonton to then seeing how life could be completely different for a player that plays in Florida or Carolina. Obviously, right away, the big question is, who should these 10 to 12 players be? Some people just started listing half the roster of their favorite team, haha, but it's a legitimate question. I mean, this is a great opportunity for the NHL to market some of its stars. They don't usually like to do that very much, especially not on this scale, so this is a big decision who those 10 to 12 guys are going to be. Also, in all the reports I've seen on this, the wording seems pretty concrete and clear that it's star players here, so I wouldn't put my money on guys like Ryan Reeves or Matt Rempe being picked for this, but I guess you never know. I mean, star is a pretty ambiguous term. Also, poor Islanders fans, man, I'm already seeing some of them be like, well, we know Lou won't let any Islanders on this, so why even guess? I've got a few interesting names that I think would be awesome for this, and maybe they don't qualify as stars, but if not, they're at least close to being one. Like Seth Jarvis, for example, I think would be perfect for this. Not only is he a really good player who keeps getting better every year, but we've seen it off the ice this year. He just seems like such a funny dude.
It's too late. I'm going to Mexico.
I feel like following him around, especially in a market like Carolina where they've got the storm surge and stuff going, would be just a ton of fun. I know some people are going to say, oh, McDavid and Bedard are too boring, don't put them on it. I disagree. I think that's must watch, even just for the simple fact that two generational talents in two hockey-crazed markets like Edmonton and Chicago, seeing what that's actually like on a day-to-day basis would just be so fascinating, I think. I mean, what's it actually like when McDavid goes to like Starbucks at Edmonton or something? Like, that's got to be nuts. They could pick a Leaf like Matthews or Nylander. I think that would be a great choice, but I think someone like Cole Caulfield in Montreal would be super interesting to watch from a fan perspective. Then on the other end of the spectrum, I want to get a peek into the lifestyle of Matthew Tkachuk in Florida. He's always talking on Spittin' Chicklets and stuff like that about how awesome it is. He's riding around in his golf cart and his flip-flops. I feel like that would be cool to see, especially in contrast to a place like Montreal or Edmonton. Speaking of which, Jack Eichel in Vegas is one of my picks. I don't think that needs any explanation. Also, JT Miller in Vancouver, I don't think that one needs any explanation either. Vancouver's such a unique market. I really want to get a peek behind the curtains there, and I think JT's the perfect guy to do it. Obviously, David Pastrnak in Boston would be a fantastic addition to this. Artemi Panarin in New York, the Big Apple, Madison Square Garden. The other day he's drinking leprechaun juice from the bench. You gotta have at least one goalie in there, so I'd say either Connor Hellebuck, Jeremy Swayman would be a great choice. Fleury if he's still even playing. There's a bunch of great names you can put into this. I mean, Ovechkin, Jack Hughes. It definitely isn't going to be just pick whoever you want and bring them on the show, though. Like, there's other stuff to consider here. Not everybody's going to say yes. It's going to be super fascinating to see who the 10 to 12 end up being, but if you could make like a dream list, who would your 10 to 12 names be? Let me know in the comments. I'm actually excited for this. Like, I think it's a great opportunity for the NHL. The only thing I'm worried about, I don't want them to just stick to the pucks in deep, I'm a team guy, you know, eat, sleep, hockey cliches here. Like, I hope they actually have a chance to show some fun sides of the players and have some fun with it. Let me know. Make sure you like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. You're awesome.